Happy Easter! Today I'm going to show you how to sear a ribeye steak. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to pat this steak down like this with a paper towel and try to pull up that moisture off of the steak. You don't want all that moisture. It just creates a little bit more spattering in your pan. And you want to sear your steak. You don't want to steam it. So get all that oil, all that water off. Okay. And then we're going to take kosher salt. And let's get some kosher salt and season it well. Don't be afraid of the seasoning. Give it a lot of seasoning. Make sure you coat it well. And then we're going to take some pepper. I like a lot of pepper on my steaks. Okay, and we're going to do that to both sides. And some pepper. Okay, we're ready to start searing. Okay, so I have a cast iron skillet. And we want to put it at about medium high. And I'm going to put about two tablespoons or so of olive oil. I like to use olive oil when I sear my steaks. And I'm ready to put this in here, and you should hear a sizzle when it goes in there. Your pan needs to be hot. And it is. And we're going to let that sear for about 2.5 minutes. Okay. So one side is done. It's time to flip. Grab the steak and just gently flip it over to the other side. You hear that sear? That's good. And you see that nice, pretty brown, little bit crusty on the steak? That's what you want. That's what we're doing. It's going to seal in the juices on the steak. And we're going to go about 2.5 minutes on the other side as well. Okay, so my steak has been seared on both sides. It's time to finish cooking it in the oven. I'm going to take my pan, put it in the oven, 350 degrees. I have a convection oven. Convection is good. Makes it go a little bit faster. Also, I'm using about 1 inch thick steaks. These are bone-in ribeyes, approximately 1 inch thick. And so for that, if you want a nice medium rare, maybe medium steak, then after you sear it and put it in the oven for approximately 2 minutes to get it medium rare to medium. You're going to have to go a little bit longer if you want it medium well or well done. But I'm going to set my timer for 2 minutes just so I don't forget. Okay, my steak's done. It's time to pull it out of the oven. That is so pretty. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it out of the pan. And I'm going to let it rest. It's very important. That's one of the most important steps in cooking your steak, is to allow it the time to rest just for a few minutes, maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Just let it rest. Don't cut into it. But what I do when it's resting is I take my butter, melted butter that's been lightly seasoned with garlic, and I baste it on here while it's resting. Now the reason I do this instead of putting the butter in the pan is because butter burns. It doesn't, it's not really good with getting really hot. So I wait until after it's done so that this steak is nice and flavored very well. I'm going to flip it over to the other side. This is gonna be so good. I'm gonna give it a few minutes to rest, and then I'm gonna cut into it, and it should be a nice, pretty, medium rare steak. Okay, so I allowed 3 or 4 minutes for the steak to rest, and then I cut into it, and it's this real nice, pretty medium color. You see that pink that's in there? It's perfect, it's juicy. It's gonna be so good. Okay, it's what's for dinner. A nice, juicy, bone-in ribeye steak with a few roasted potatoes and a few roasted broccoli. Doesn't get any better than this. Happy Easter, y'all. Thanks for watching.